democracy officer approached me telling me how wrong my ideas and facts were, so I decided to tell you the only truth approved by Super Earth itself. Did I pass? Oh shit! Helldivers 2 seemed to me like a project on its last breath, and possibly that was partially true. Since constant online slowly declined, to get weapon progress to the same level as players who were playing from the start, you needed lots of money to spend on war bonds, aka battle passes, and bugs were so bad and persistent through the updates that it became from irritating to just impossible to play sometimes, like the one when opening weapon customization menu crashed the game. So, let me explain, starting with online. Solution came where I expected the least, collaboration with Halo and release on Xbox consoles. First days, online was constant 300k plus, now keeping around 100,000 players, which makes finding random teams to play with really easy anywhere you land and not in specific areas where the plot is happening. Collaboration with Halo was more of a fun one, and items from the Halo Battle Pass are fun, but without any items that may feel imbalanced. The latest Dove Devil's Warbond, on the other hand, is completely different story. Not only fun, but also useful, but that Battle Pass and update into the Unjust is the whole other story. The Battle Pass question partially was well made from the beginning, like the opportunity to buy previous Battle Passes from all the previous months. The question was in finances. And in-game currency, as I found out, not only bought and farmable in a classic way, which is some sort of idiotism to be honest, to spend 2 to 3 hours to get in-game currency for one Battle Pass, but there are also lots of bugs. And one of these bugs allows you to farm super credit on industrial level. While connecting to a team of randoms, I got to the scene where one guy was calling super credits from hell pods, and by the end of the match I got around 9 to 10,000 of these super credits, which is enough to get almost every battle pass, and the rest is easily got from the battle passes themselves, 300 super credits per battle pass, and normally farmed during adequate gameplay, allowing to easily acquire everything you need for the normal gameplay, like some grenades, weapons, and suits with some abilities, making progress during gameplay as organic as possible. The bugs were mostly fixed, but the one that is new and the one that irritates, but is perfect for lure Pelican, the extraction ship, not being able to normally land sometimes, or landing so that you cannot get in it, which is lore accurate of Super Earth doing some stupid things costing Helldivers lives, so it is more of a fun bug. The rest that I've met during all this time were fixed, and I have not met anything new that, for example, crashed the game. But the amount of bugs I've met was enormous, like stuff stopping mid-air, broken collisions, animations that should never been there, and the list goes on. And the message of report a problem I've seen more often than I'd like to. But now about the latest update and Warbond. It is something I've never expected. After adding Illuminati faction, there were no impressive new enemies added. Some minor additions, yes, but that was pretty much the same, and if you figured out how to kill them, the rest became just farming. Into the Unjust update, altered Terminate's faction by adding not only new enemies, some of them are pretty hard to kill since they have so much health points that you simply need to focus this enemy for 15 minutes to kill it with everything you have as a team of 4, but also new types of missions and new types of mechanics, like entering Terminate Cave to destroy its core, where you cannot call in any stratagem including teammates, so you need to leave caves to call their reinforcements or supplies. Same as mission with the drilling vehicle, which looks easy at first since the car has its own cannon, but keeping in mind that these sort of missions are on the maps with giant worm, called Hive Lord, which will break the vehicle on the first sight, so you need to focus him at first as a team, which is a separate type of achievement since it took my team of 3 around 15 to 20 minutes to kill him when we solely focused him with everything we've got. After all, developers have shown that they keep developing the game and are able to get creative and get more locations and enemies like the same Hive Lord or dragons, which are easier to get but which are really annoying.
After all, even the game's bugs and glitches work either for the lore accuracy or at opportunities to get in-game donation currency using the glitches if you're lucky enough to get to that party. Same as I was playing before, I'll continue playing Helldivers since it is not competitive shooter and you can relax in it as much as you can relax in third-person shooter. Oh, and the minor thing, but since August 2025 you can upgrade to Super Citizen Edition in Steam even if you've bought standard one before for the difference in price, which is nothing important but nice to have this as an option, what I essentially have done already. But according to the same developers of Helldivers 2, they acknowledge that the game was not optimized enough on the release and adding more content makes it even harder to make the game run better. For example, Helldivers 2 are set as playable on Steam Deck and even has graphics preset Steam Deck in the settings menu. And it was true for the game till January 2025. Before that, you had decent 30 to 45 FPS with decent image quality, and the game was very playable, but since January, frame rates drop all the times to 20 something FPS, and the Illuminati mission are basically impossible to play on Steam Deck because of the amount of NPCs on screen, and it drops FPS and image quality even on the ship, place where nothing happens, and that's really horrible. So with every update, Helldivers 2 require more and more powerful device to play with decent FPS and screen resolution, and I do really hope that the game will get optimized eventually, but for now every new update looks like a new hardware requirement. Personally, I'd like to see such things as additional ships improvements, besides the decent optimization of course, and as well as additional things as, let's name it, leagues of some sort, which as far as I understand were planned before the release. But as I have understanding, something like this was planned since 150th level players, in game where 150 level is maximal, have very limited opportunity to upgrade the same ship, and majority of resources are just staying in inventory and waiting for the moment to be spent, since the same DSF or Democratic Space Station is not something I personally invest in, since very often community is sending it to places where it shouldn't be sent. Like when Super Earth was attacked, Democratic Space Station was sent there, but seems like no one looked at the fact that there was orbital blockage on Super Earth and Democratic Space Station was useless there. But that's just for some minor inconveniences. In any case, in my previous video I was a bit wrong about the game was dying, and right now I think that it has its potential, but developers should do only one thing: optimize the game, since right now it is essentially unplayable on the devices it was playable before on minimal settings.